Okay, this is a quick video tutorial to use iMovie for home video or archival purposes, something that can just be used kind of on the get-go. It's a free software that comes on Apple products. There's an upgraded version, Final Cut Pro, which can be used if you need to play multiple videos simultaneously, or you just have a lot of video and audio that are overlapping or cutting between them. Maybe if that's the case, something like Final Cut Pro would be more appropriate. But if it's kind of a couple simple applications, we can definitely do that in iMovie. And this video is to help with that. It's for my family, but I'm just going to put it up for anyone who might find this useful. So I guess there's a couple applications that I'll show. I think one issue is like maybe we have an old archival footage or a home video that we need to make edits to the audio with, and in that case maybe we've extracted the audio and we've edited it in a different program, and this is kind of just showing how we can reattach it there. Another application would be to put music over a video. Like maybe we have old video that we want to put to some music, but also be able to cut back into the original audio at points. And then a third application might be we might have a bunch of pictures that we want to either narrate, make a slideshow kind of, or add music to. So that's what we'll do today. These kind of three simple applications. I have open iMovie. And what I can do here is I could just start importing media. If I'm going to have different projects though, it might help to organize them a bit. So in this tab on the left side under libraries, under iMovie library, I can create a new event, and I can just give that some name. I'll call that test. And with that selected, if I drag my media in here, it's all organized in this event. I can also do that with Command I, or with right click. Import media will give me a sort of finder view that I could use to import as well. So I have a bunch of tools and media and this upper portion of the screen, and on the bottom is kind of my workbench. This is where the project that I'm working on is going to be. If I have multiple projects, maybe I'll call this like test or something, but we can have many different projects that we're working on. We'll open up this one, and that's what is open down here at the bottom. So now we have some stuff that is in our library, and we can drag it onto our workstation down here. So to do that, let's drag a video down here, and just quickly let's get used to the controls. As I scrub over the video by going left or right on my cursor, you can see that big white line moving around. That's kind of our current playhead, or where it's going to play from. If I were to press the space bar, it'll start playing from that space, and then I'm free to move my cursor around, and it's going to just keep playing until I stop it. So I can press space to stop it. One kind of super useful function for editing multiple videos is going to be our Command B. So if I have a video or audio segment highlighted, so if I've clicked it and Command B, it's going to Command break. It's going to split that into two different tracks, or two different file units, and we'll use that in a second. I'm going to undo that real quick. And just before we get to the scenarios, I guess even let's I just want to drag some media in here. So here's a video of Grandpa describing osechi, and then there's I have some photos in here, and let's say another video. If they're all just arranged on this this main horizontal line that's kind of indicated by this kind of darker colored bar here, this is kind of our timeline, and one thing will just flow into the next thing, which will flow into the next thing. It's just arranging them sequentially. We can also stack things though. Like we could put like a photo here on top of a video. We can change the length that we want that photo to display. And in a case where you see something that's video or image stacked on top of another video, what you'll see is what's on top. So we still have the video running underneath, but we're cut away to a photo, and we can arrange it that way. So if we just need to cut away to something quick, a video or image and we want to keep the same audio running, that's an easy way to do that. And that does also work for video, can overlap with other video. I think I might have wiped out that picture though. So one thing that you do need to be careful of. In iMovie, you can only have one thing stacked on another thing at a time. In Final Cut Pro, you can stack as much as you want. But if you don't have too many things that you're trying to stack, then this will work fine. This will lead us into our first kind of scenario, which is really kind of simple. It's just that we had a home video. And I hope you can kind of hear, I'm not sure how well it picks up on this capture, but all of this sound is on the right channel, and there's a lot of static there.
Suppose have odd numbers, such as here we have the chicken.
So if we wanted to fix that audio, this isn't the program where we would fix it, but let's say we had fixed that in any number of audio editing programs, something like Logic Pro, GarageBand, like Audacity, any type of audio editor, and we wanted to reattach it to the initial footage. This would be a perfect tool to do that. So what I have here is actually is exactly that. It is the same audio from the video that I have edited to kind of even out the left right, as well as try to cut down some of the noise a bit and bring out some of the vocal clarity through equalization. So if I were to just overlap it on top of the video footage, you see it lets me kind of choose where it should start, and you'll notice that it's green, indicating that it is audio file, instead of when we had our images and our video, they were blue and they stack on top. The audio stacks below it, but the same thing, it's using that little arrow to show that where it's attached to whatever's on your main line. In this case, it would be it is the exact same audio. It would overlap at 0, 0, and if we played them both, we can hear that they're actually both playing at the same time.
Okay, this is sashimi.
Kind of creates a funny effect there. If and whether it's the same audio or you just have different audio you want to put in, you can adjust relative audio volumes by dragging this horizontal line that's on any audio track. Video that has audio attached to it, it shows up beneath it. So what I'm moving around right now, I'm adjusting the volume of the audio associated with the video, and I can do the same thing on these audio independent files. I can change the relative volume of them. So if I wanted to just use our new audio, I could completely make the other one quiet. Another way to do that is just to detach the audio. If I right click and say detach audio, it will export, or it'll let me treat that audio separately. It's no longer attached to the video. So now I have both of them this way, and I could just delete this one in this case, and I could just export our new audio on top of the video. So this would kind of wrap up our first project, just switching the audio on a archival video or family video. So that's kind of our first scenario. I want to kind of quickly use this though to also demonstrate that if we wanted to maybe phase in and out of audio, or actually let's do that. I guess that's what I said our second scenario is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that initial audio. Now we have our new audio on our home video. And the second thing we'll do is maybe we have some home video that we want to put music on top of. So we could do that. So let me get a music track. So I'm going to drag down, this is Same Love. It's a song we made for Obon last summer. And you can see when it's on top of, when it's on top of the main track, what we're seeing the overlaid video, but we're hearing both its audio and the audio from that's attached below here. So in this application, let's say we have an MP3, and in this case, I'm gonna just extract the audio from or detach the audio from our music video, and I can just maybe delete it. In this case, we'll just say this: I have some MP3 now that some music that I want to play with a video, and I want to be able to cut in and out with the audio from the video. So if you had just kind of skipped that first step, right? We didn't need to replace the original audio. We could have just we could just say that this one right here is the detached audio from the video, right? So we've gone ahead, we've detached the audio. We have the audio from the initial clip, which should be aligned with the start of the video, right? And we have our music that we want to overlay with. And let's say there's some section in the video. I'm going to turn this down for a second.
Jumbo shrimps.
The jumbo shrimp section. So yeah, you could see like if I want the music just like low level in the background the whole time and I don't need it to duck in and out, then that's kind of simple. I can just adjust, pull it up or down, and I can have some music going on underneath the video. But I might want to fade out the audio and then have the original audio come in or something, or various applications of switching between audio. So in that case, one thing we can do is use a kind of a fade in and fade out feature. But to do that, we're going to need kind of ends of these segments. Using kind of our break tool that we used earlier. So like let's say this is the part where I want to cut into the jumbo shrimp section or wherever it is in the video. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it right now just to demonstrate. But so that's the start of the initial or the audio we want from the upper track, and this is the end of it, let's say. So what we could do is, I should have, because now that they're separate, their lines are all separate. So if I wanted to balance it first, like a good workflow might be like, what is about how loud do I want the music generally first, and then maybe I'll make my breaks. And then it's kind of easy. I could just either mute the sections I don't want, particularly if I'm still kind of working around with it. Maybe I would want to do that, or I could just delete them if I don't need these sections. Right now, the audio is still all aligned, right, and cuts into the section that we want, and at the end of that, it'll cut back in, right? But that's pretty abrupt and doesn't allow for a lot of like fade in, fade out. So at the ends of any audio clip, you'll see these circle with like another circle in it. That's a like kind of fade in, fade out, and it's kind of a visual representation. As we get to this section, it starts fading out, fading out, fading out, and then it is gone. It's a kind of logarithmic decrease there. Oops, I dragged it. But so let's go ahead and drag. Let's give some fade in and fade out on the music. Oops, sorry. And there, if we need to zoom in or out. Sorry, I probably should have said this earlier at the top, but we can zoom in by pinching out and zoom in by pinching in. If we're using like a trackpad, or a scroll pad, you can go up and I think if you're using like a mouse, you can kind of scroll, I think, to do that. You can also use this thing here. This is far zoomed out. This is more zoomed in. So we're looking at the same thing. We're kind of just zooming. So each unit length X is more or less time, I guess. So sorry, I should have maybe included that earlier. But okay, so we have some fade ins and fade outs here. These are kind of long. That's actually pretty extreme. But now let's just take a listen. So we have the music fading out, and then the next track fade in. If we want these to overlap though, like maybe we want those fade in, fade out to overlap, what we can do is also for any highlighted section. So I have, in this case, Grandpa's talking. I can grab the end here. Oops, I should be able to, with it highlighted, click and drag the edge of an audio segment. And when I do that, you see that, oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry. Okay, my hands are kind of cold. It's not working on the trackpad. I haven't changed the anchorage positions, right? So I haven't actually changed where the music file is attached to the video. All I've done is extend the ends of just this section here, the New Year's Food by Papa audio edit one. And so because that MP3 is actually longer than what's being used here, we're just pulling from an earlier part of that MP3 and from a later part of that MP3. So it's a pretty useful tool. That way we can just change the relative length of that. I could get the whole thing back if I wanted just by dragging it. But this allows us to kind of overlap that fade in and fade out section. So we can.
That one is 7 items. There's the fish roll.
Yeah, so two ways that we can kind of fade in, fade out, either just kind of abrupt out, all the way in, or with just a little bit of additional steps, we can kind of overlap them. We can play around with these sliders to get that right sound balance. So okay, that's our second application, adding an MP3 or music or an additional audio on top of a video while maintaining some parts of that initial video's audio. Okay, so I think the third application that I had mentioned is maybe we want to make like a slideshow from footage, from like images, photographs. So I'm going to go ahead and delete everything here, and I'm going to import a couple photos. Oops. So I can, why is it doing this? Okay, I click this one. Why is it? Well, I could just drag them in. So just grab it, drag it in, grab it, drag it in. I don't know why it's doing this actually. Maybe I'm super zoomed in. If I just highlight a bunch of them too, I can drag them in like that. Oh, sorry, my thing's being kind of funny. And even though they're still images, they can have length, right? That they're being displayed, and you see that it's tried to kind of smart kind of decide how give us a little bit of movement, some kind of Ken's bird effect. If we don't want that, or we want to change that, all we got to do is highlight the region we want to edit and go up here on the upper right, and there's a little crop button. We can click that, and if we say fit, it's just gonna make it so the whole thing fits, leaving these kind of black bars on the side. If we did that for this one too, that's fine. The other option we have is we can crop to fit or fill, which gives us a crop window that we can adjust however we want, drag it around, and that's what we'll see on our slideshow. And then the other option that I guess it automatically did was this Ken Burns kind of thing, where we could define both the start and the end of the kind of zoom section. So the start's a smaller window, in this case the end's a larger one. We should see it kind of zoom out as we get there. Yeah, so we can kind of manually set the type of kind of Ken Burns effect we want to I guess it automatically just try to figure out what was good, but you can kind of control that too. Yeah, and then so same as before, you can attach an audio to that. I think maybe the only trick is if it's kind of not in the order you want, the audio is going to be attached to something. So it's going to move with this one in this case, because that's where the little pointy thing is. We could there's some kind of funny ways we could get around that. I think if we could do a background or something, like let's say I don't know, like we could just make like a really short, just like black background and attach it at the very beginning if we wanted to match everything to the audio, if that's like how we just wanted our workflow to go, because you can't attach just the audio to the main timeline. So we could do some kind of silly trick like this if we wanted to. Now everything it's attached to some blank thing at the beginning, and then it starts. This is yeah.
Okay. This is sashimi.
So in this case, we got we got a sound of our family at New Year's over the video, and we could pre-import some audio that we had that way. Oh, I should also say that we can change the length of these. I think if we okay. Okay, so to change the length of a bunch of slides at the same time, or a select number of them, for whichever ones are highlighted, you can click on this I information thing, and then that's in the upper right, and then we can just give it a numerical length in seconds, so 3.5 seconds, and you can see it's changed the ones I had highlighted to that length. So I could just, if I had all of my clips, I could just tell them how long I would like them to last, 6 seconds, and adjust it that way. So that's how you can uh, kind of in batch set the length of a slide. So maybe we want to narrate over it ourselves. This is the last thing I'll show. So if we don't have a pre kind of loaded MP3, then here we can click this little microphone button, and then click record, and then I think it's gonna play it and let us talk over the top. So we can say this is a picture of our grandma and her siblings growing up. A whole bunch of people in the community. They would take a boat to school. Oops, it's a little out of order. That's Uncle Shig, I think. Yeah. And then this is the boat they took to school. So I mean, like, we could do that, and then we could hit stop, talk over the top. So we could say this is a picture of our grandma and her. I think that electrical sounds because I'm running so much stuff. I hope the whole video doesn't sound siblings growing up. But you could do that too, to kind of narrate a video. And then, if you didn't like that take, you could just do another one. I think this will work. So we could give a second audio take where we try the same thing again, and maybe we just do the whole thing again, or we just missed one section, so we could just do it there. However you want to do it, we could stop it, and that'll be in the same place. So if we could, like before, we could cut these up, right? Oops, break, and choose the the one we wanted for that section or whatever. So and her, we just do. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to make sure it actually sounds good, and whatever. But yeah, that's how you could make a slideshow that is narrated as well in this software. So yeah, I think those are the things that I was going to show today. Just a simple use of a free software on Mac OS to make home video, to edit kind of archival video, and yeah, it's pretty simple, I guess. Way to get into audio video for personal historical reasons like that. All right, that's everything. Okay, I'm done.